Hey, what's up? Y'all know who it is, man. It's the Dolphins D. We already in here. Ready to turn up this year. We gon' get it.
To Hard Rock Stadium.
We gon' defend. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Let me hear you say, his squad. We gon' defend. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Let me hear you say, his squad. We got the whole squad with me now. Train to go. Come play games if you want to. Try to crash eyes. You done took the wrong route. We gon' crash you like a stunt dude. Check y'all like 1, 2. Tap your head like your uncle. You wanna ride, stay buckle. It get loud down here, get wild down here. Time to feel the jungle. Never disrespect the squad that's defended by a line and some beats on the feast on opposition. Another line in the back singing to the ER just in case you got through the first line with tripping. But if for some reason it get crazy, I got watchers on the corner for my safety. Everybody here well coached. Change the weather under pressure, stay cool like an AC. Woo! But we still make heat. Woo! What is you trying to play me? We be 3 plus AD, but I'm a fool so low. Can't nothing break me. Be great, only way to do great things. Hit hard, only way to make a statement. Come up in our territory, make a payment. Or be in debt with your neck. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Let me hear you say, his squad. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Let me hear you say, his squad.
I hit them boys. We throw them toys. That's in that QB. We them boys. We the realest. We go gorillas. We out here, homie. You gon' feel us. Don't make me come down. Get in that box. Like I'm red. I'll knock your socks. Won't play y'all boys. Cause we some bullies. We'll take your cookies. Cause y'all some rookies. I'm in the building. Me and Shot Jones. We do lane. We don't play zone. We play that man. So guard your hands. I see your eyes. You're scared,
we
man.
We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Let me hear you say, his squad. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Let me hear you say, his squad. Yeah.
Emmanuel Ogbe, part of the Buffet Boys. Shout out Solo D. Shout out to DWA. Let's eat.
Yo, Solo. You know they just say you gotta make a hit squad part 2. But you know, man, we hungry this time, man. We gotta eat this time.
Back in the beast mode. AFC was trying to rap up the East Coast. Take shots, fall back, then reload. Get the powder time to slap up these foes. Anytime we hit the field, then we must play. Any boys going hard, man, I must say. Try to stay on one route like the busway. Trying to eat teams up like a buffet. Eat the offense like a buffet. Eat the quarterback like a buffet. Eat the running back like a buffet. Eat the wide receiver like a buffet. Eat the whole line like a buffet. Eat the coach up like a buffet. Eat the fan base like a buffet. Stay on one route like the busway.
I say and not quote. Go harder, go home is the motto. A pick or a sack is the lotto. Let's cook them like Emerald Lagasso. My bad, Lagasse. He going south, that is not me. Hungry for greatness, so I eat. Stay in my zone like I'm Bob B. Jumping off the edge like E and Shaq. Straight pressure, never easing back. Protection on the way you gon' get wins. Split through the middle like Wilkins. Got some backers on the back that's gon' back me up. Straight action, we be acting up. Tell Coach drop his best plan, but it still get snatched by X-Man. Cause we back in the beast mode. AFC, we tryna rap up the East Coast. Take shots, fall back, then reload. Get the powder time to slap up these foes. Anytime we hit the field, then we must play. Any boys going hard, man, I must take. Try to stay on one route like the busway. Tryna eat teams up like a buffet. Eat the offense like a buffet. Eat the quarterback like a buffet. Eat the running back like a buffet. Eat the wide receiver like a buffet. Eat the whole line like a buffet. Eat the coach up like a buffet. Eat the fan base like a buffet.
Eating like a buffet, it be a long day, we ain't gon' play. Yeah, them boys green, no subway. Pick the ball off X and BJ. I don't care about what he and she say, that's nonsense. Check the replay, I work overnight and it's early morning, but I'm turned up cause it's game day. They don't really want it with your boy. O-line really get destroyed. Ex-Patriot, Cal Van Noy, put him on his butt, hurt hemorrhoids. What's a grown man to a boy? Jam him at the line, yeah, you the throw it. Discipline coach Brian Flores, never get me riled to the boys. Fans better pay attention, even social distance. I got a witness and you know we blitzing, but mind your business. Christian Wilkins on the line of scrimmage. Far from timid, pushing to the limit, rubbing engine. You know we gotta get it, Nick Nina. You know we gonna bring it back, take it to the business. Fins up till my life is finished. Say it with my chest cause I meant it. A lie, no why, I admit it. New era, yeah, I envision. A win streak, we just keep on winning. So I lose and tell them suck a limit. Bills with the Jets and New England. Miami top dogs where you hit me.
Back in the beast mode. AFC, we tryna rap up the East Coast. Take shots, fall back, then reload. Get the powder time to slap up these foes. Anytime we hit the field, then we must play. Any boys going hard, man, I must say. Try to stay on one route like the busway. Trying to eat teams up like a buffet. Eat the offense like a buffet. Eat the quarterback like a buffet. Eat the running back like a buffet. Eat the wide receiver like a buffet. Eat the whole line like a buffet. Eat the coach up like a buffet. Eat the fan base like a buffet. Stay on one route like the busway.
So low, so low, so low, deep. So low, so low, so low, deep.
I know the whole city rising. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fins for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. My intuition told me this. To trust the coach, he holds a gift. He knowing when to go with fits. So we knowing when to switch. This year we got the golden pick. Time to see what that pick about. Bad vibes get sent out. Only fans up in this house. We been waiting, yeah, we been patient. Now it's time to cash out, no discount. Super Bowl, yeah, we en route. I don't know when, but it's close. I don't wanna overhype, but I just know I like it. So excited, you gon' notice now. You should notarize it. They say two are from that rock. Shout out to Samoa and Islands. Time to lay the smack down. You think he Dwayne Johnson? Time to be the people's champ. Hit him with the people's elbows. Stick together like it's Velcro. You think you could stop us? Hell no. All day I dream about sports. I think I need some Chateau custom with some Dolphins colors, just to let them know we here. Yeah. I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fins for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time.
To a time, to a time. Really hope he the man. Hope we found us a gem, like the Heat found Bam. Wanna take time to thank Fitz, cause he put on the show. But the young man up, in the whole city low. Time to catch all the blessings, cash out on the investment. Ball out, don't choke. Fins want all the smoke. Chris Gregg gave hope. Coach flow like spoke. Dan Marino still a GOAT, but to a man on go. Watch to a man throw. Watch to a man scope. Watch to a man dish shoes that we never ever seen before. Fans up, let's win. Born ready for a ring. Maybe 3, 4, 5, 6. It's damn week, use 10.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fins for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time.
So low, so low, so low, deep. So low, so low, so low, deep.
About them Dolphins, fellas. Dolphins on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dolphins!
Games over here. Get some games over here. We got some canes over here. There go some canes over relax here. And take notes while I step in. Ain't no question. I've been repping. See my squad ballin', that's a blessing. I'm texting with my homies from that West End Zone crew. Say they taking shots, told me roll through. I told you about that orange and green. We click tight, big bites, we destroy your team. Make the world view our games like a horror scene. Stuff opponents in a can like Goya beans. I mean, representing for the team. Let us hit it out. You can't get connected with us. Check your figure note. Infamous with that swag, it's original. Oh, the copycats could copy that, but we go get some more. No gate, no Seminole. We let it stay, but in this state we is the general. Salute. Coral Gables around the world, we don't have a limit. We read that you from the streets to the academics. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here.
All we do, please, is a hurricane. You ain't got that work, you can't serve the canes. I know you been watching, we been hurting things. Where that crown at, homie, we them dirty canes. We gon' get that title, what that purdy rain. Gotta turn over chain for every team. Green and orange on my back, get a foreigner's back. I'm scoring while you roaring like a lion getting sacked. ¿Qué pasó, papi? Tú no puedes conmigo. Argentino de principio, huracán en mi equipo. Got the passion like Sebastian when I'm rapping, that's a fact. Got that 7-6 jersey for the legend, one sack, yeah.
Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here.
We got some canes over here and we bout that. Solo D and them ballin' boys, yo, we got that. No good chillin' in the cut, hard rock pack. And if you hating on them canes, better stack. It's the state of the MIA. The U is back, what them haters gotta say. Them hurricanes, we be ballin' all day. Turn over chain, got the people going crazy.
Now whoop whoop, it's the sound so you know who it is. They counting finest ballin' like the U up in here. Gold teeth, grillin', chillin', Solo D what it is. We got the turn up chain, gang up in here. Cause it's a UM thing, orange and green is the gear. We coming to you HD so it's crispy clear. Now put them U's in the sky, don't stand and chill. And let them know if they don't know we got some canes up in here.
Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Get some canes over here. Throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here.
Canes, we be ballin' all day. Canes, we be ballin' all day. Canes, we be ballin' all day. Them hurricanes, we be ballin' all day.
Who that?
So low, so low, so low, deep. So low, so low, so low, deep.
Miami Sports Music. Salute.
Already know.
Bless up.
We
got Finger Licking live.
Already know, man.
It's Kane over here. Turn over chain, 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 turn over chain. You seen Big Homie get a fumble? He get a turnover chain. Seen Big Homie get the pick off? He get a turnover chain, 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 turnover chain. You see the whole crowd going user? We want that turnover chain. See the whole crowd going crazy? We want that turnover chain, turnover chain. Turnover chain is deeper than jewelry, deeper than blink. It's deeper. See, this is our thing, and you as the team is strictly for Kane. Invented the swag, you rented and brag, but we want it back. Let me get that. But you can keep the old one, cause we keep something new in the bag. All of these players is hungry, don't come in here thinking it's funny. We aiming for something, rocking the chains when it's sunny. Even when raining or something, we ain't gonna be something. I hope you quarterback don't think it's sweet. The defense will make them take a seat. And if somebody strip the ball out, then somebody get a Cuban link. Now you know how I go with the fans though. We be going wild out in the stands though. If you're not with the team, you're not familiar. If you throwing U's up, you're not familiar. Come on, get loose like a band, trombone, throw 3 or 5 up, my home, CWA. Tell them about it. All the canes going wild when we yelling this out. Turn over chain, 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 turn over chain. You seen Big Homie get the fumble? He get a turnover chain. Seen Big Homie get the pick up? He get a turnover chain, 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 turnover chain. You see the whole crowd going user? We want that turnover chain. See the whole crowd going crazy? We want that turnover.
Hey guys, I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, the Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from Fins Up SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta Dolphin Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal Dolphin Club.
And you're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
Good morning, everybody. It is your boy, Stephen D, right here on the #1 Miami fan morning show in the world. Hashtag Clock Blockers. Good morning from Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Super excited that you're here. I want to give a big shout out to my Fins family this morning and my Fin-laws. Hope you guys are doing good. We're gonna have a big packed show for you guys today. It's gonna be a Hall of Fame worthy show today. You wanna know how today's show is gonna be? It's gonna be so big. I can't even tell you how excited I am for y'all today. Got a few housewarming gifts before we get started. #1, I don't know what you guys are doing right now, but I need you to make sure you hit that like button. Okay, look at the top here. Go hit that like button. Make sure you hit it. Big deal. Hit that like button as soon as you come in and let everybody know what you are doing. And #1, you have to be able to hit that like button. So let's go. Come on, hit that like button this morning. The other thing I need you to do, if you haven't done already, subscribe. Subscribe. You want to help our channel grow? Go ahead and subscribe. You also see a little bell notification. When you guys subscribe, make sure you turn on that bell's notification. That way you get alerted every time we have great future, should be already Hall of Famers on, like Richmond Webb. And not to mention, you get to see my beautiful smiling face in the morning. So yeah, I am super excited that you all are here this morning. Thank you for coming. I got a few other things I want to talk to you about before we get to this morning too. So I want to remind you guys that the #1 afternoon show called For the Fans, that was previously on the former network known as Onside Radio, is going to be coming back home to Miami Sports Music's YouTube channel
on Monday, July 21st. So make sure you guys come back for that. We got a whole bunch of guests planned out and lined up. And come July 21st, we're going to get the ball rolling back on the number one afternoon show for the fans. That's right. It will be back on Miami Sports Music's home, Miami Sports Music YouTube channel. So make sure you guys check out all the old shows that we have in the YouTube. If you go to our homepage, you can see For the Fans. Please go check those out. Download them if you see them on Amazon podcast, wherever it is you get your podcast from. Make sure you guys go check that out. Also, want to remind you guys today, okay, we're still doing likes and goals and donations and goals. Any single donation of $5 or more automatically enters you into Pick Your DWA Swag giveaway. Everybody who's won over the last couple of weeks, all your stuff's going to be going out here in the next day or two. Solo's going to give me all the tracking numbers here, and as soon as he gives me all the tracking numbers, I'll send all that stuff to you out. So check it out. Make sure you get your DWA Swag giveaway $5 donation. Today, we have 100 goals, 100 likes as the goal. We're at 14, right? So come on, man. That's 86 more. Let's get those flowing. All right. Today's goal for donations is 15 single donations. Remember, any single donation of $5 or more automatically enters you into the Pick Your DWA Swag giveaway. You get the DWA hat, you get the DWA shorts, or the DWA beanie, whatever you think is up your alley. Also, want to remind you guys, if you hit the goal by 10 a.m. of 100 likes and 15 donations, we'll stay on for an additional 30 minutes to talk about whatever topic you want to talk about. So let's get to liking and donating. Just so you guys know where we are week today, we're at 40 total donations for the week. We got 60 more donations to go. We got 3 more awesome days to go. I know you guys can do it. I know you guys can do it. Let's go. Let's go. 100 donations helps the channel grow. Look, we got a lot of cool things coming up for this football season. We need your help to grow, and part of that is through likes and sharing, and if you're able to donate, that helps too. The likes on Monday, we had 70 likes. On Tuesday, we had 42, and on Wednesday, we had 81. Guys, we got Richmond Webb on today. We need to be hitting 100-plus likes today. I'm not playing with you guys. Chef Zhu, all the people that are part of the YouTube channel membership, you guys, hey, you got jobs. Everybody got jobs around here today. Today, y'all's is making sure people hit that like button and sharing this thing. So let's go. All right. The other thing, I know y'all are excited about this man. I know you're excited about this man. I'm excited about this man. This is one of the most kindest, most awesome, amazing individuals I have met. And I briefly have gotten to know him just recently. And I hope that I get to grow and cultivate a bigger friendship as we move forward. But I have to tell you, he's one amazing individual, and the man should be. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure he gets into Canton, Ohio. That's going to be our goal here on Miami Sports Music, to make sure this man gets into the Hall of Fame. I'm not playing with y'all. Today, if you guys want to ask Richmond Webb a question, use the hashtag Dolphin Chat in your chat, and we're going to make sure that we get that looked at, okay? Because we want to be able to get you guys going. So use the hashtag Dolphin Chat, hashtag Clock Blockers. We want to be able to make sure that we do that. I like what my man Shad says. 0 excuses. Smash that like button. Finn's Unity. Good morning, Mr. Webb. Yep. All right. I'm excited. We're going to have a good time on here this morning. So normally what we do is we go over the week's, what's going on in Miami sports. But look, man, nothing as important as the guest that I have on today. So look, I know you guys are excited. So without further ado, let's get going. Oh, man, look who I got on, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy, Stephen D, with my good friend, Richmond Webb. What's up, Richmond?
Good morning, Stephen. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, man, I had my cup of coffee this morning. I'm ready to go. I am ready.
Hey, and I got my man, Jason Taylor. Can you see that? I'll move the thing one way.
Oh, there we go.
Hey,
there we go. I like that mug there. JT.
Yeah, that's when he got inducted into the Hall of Fame. So I picked up one of these mugs when I was up there.
Hey, man, we got to get JT on the show, man. You got to help get that going, man, right there. JT's that guy. I wore my throwback jersey for you there. I don't have a Richmond Webb one yet. I'm going to get one, though. Don't you sweat it. I got Mark Duper on today.
I love Duke. Duke took care of me when I first got there, him and Clayton. So I wore my orange shirt since it's the closest thing I got to the sun, and it's in the morning. So glad to be on the show. How you doing so far this morning, sir?
Man, I am super amazing. I think we got people in the chat room that are super, super excited. Like my man NorCal, the godfather of the Finlaws. I think you know Mark NorCal, Angelo. He said, why am I up so early? Oh, yeah, I got clock. He said, I got clock blocked by Stephen in Richmond. You know Richmond is a great blocker. I like what you did there, Godfather. I like what you did there. I like it. Dude, I am super excited about this. So, look, there's so much to talk about. I want to talk about you. I want to talk about, your experiences with people in the locker room and playing for the team. I want to talk about the Hall of Fame. And I want to talk about, the team as it is currently right now. So you ready to get into all that?
Yeah, come on with it.
All right, man. So first, you were a guest on the afternoon show for the fans. So we already kind of broke down. So if you guys want to see all about Richmond's past experience, you guys got to go back to that show, download it, watch it on YouTube. For the fans, me and Richmond Webb, great show. Make sure you guys go check that out. So we're not going to get into all that. But what I do want to kind of get into a little bit more in detail is, being at practice, that training camp, being a rookie at training camp and mini camp and OTAs. And what was that like for you? Because number one, the rules were a lot different back then. And that Florida Heat, I'm sure you learned real quick how that Florida Heat works. Tell me a little bit about that.
It didn't take long. Flew in from, the draft, I think the following week. I don't think it was 2 weeks. I think the following week seemed like flew into Miami, had mini camp, and, you get introduced to the media and stuff, being the first round pick. Everybody wants to talk to you. So that was pretty cool. And then next thing you know, it's for real. Mini camp starts. I think we went like twice Friday, twice Saturday, one time Sunday, but they started installing the playbook, and we had two veterans. Me and Keith was at mini camp, but I believe Roy Foster and Jeff Dellenbach were holding out, so we got initially bumped up in the starting offense. So
right away,
right there, and I walk in the huddle. The formation was I believe Duper was to my right most of the time. So it was then me, Keith, Jeff Hewlett, Harry Galbraith, Mark Dennis, and then Clayton would be on the other side. And then you had two running backs and Marino in the center. So, you look up in first place, you see is Marino. He's calling the play, and you trying to remember what we just installed in the meeting before, because you got to try to grasp it and pick it up quick. But it was surreal. But like I said before, I got Duper here. These are guys that I was watching on national TV Monday Night Football, and now I'm in the huddle with them. You almost got to pinch yourself, but that was pretty cool.
So let me ask you, the Heat, how long did it take for you to get accustomed to South Florida Heat? I'm going to ask you were you throwing up those first couple of days? Come on now, it had to have been rough.
It got hot in College Station, but Miami kind of seems more like Houston. It's a lot more humid. At times we would get humid weather at College Station, but not all the time. So I had a taste of it, but not on a daily basis. You could come out in the morning, even though the sun wasn't out, the humidity would be waiting on you. So, you would be drenched, T-shirt soaked, this and that, because it was just so humid that the main thing you had to remember was try to hydrate and, drink plenty of water, Gatorade, to keep the fluids in you, because, we'd always see guys lock up or have to go get IVs or whatever, because it's a different type heat down there in Miami.
is another type of heat. So you were thrown kind of, into the starting fire right away. Who was your offensive line coach, and what type of, role did he play? And I'm asking a lot of these questions because, look, we got 3 young guys that are going into their second year on the offensive line. Plus, you got a guy like Liam Eschenberg out of Notre Dame. And so I want kind of people to get in the minds of what a transformation is like, especially in that first and second year, that these guys are still learning and they can get better, and don't think that the ceiling has been hit yet by these guys. And so that's why I want to kind of get your point of view on this.
Yeah, it was, it was a learning experience for me. You could be one of the best players in college, but now you're playing against guys that are the savvy veterans that's been playing the game for, 5, 7, some of them 10, 12 years. So they know all the tricks of the trade. They know the little things to kind of key on and this and that. So I think the biggest difference was the speed of the game. It seemed like you had to adjust to that. It seemed like everybody was moving much quicker. In college, you could, open up a hole for a running back and then you get through. But, that hole would open up. It seemed like if you don't get through there, it closes right back up. So things just happened a lot quicker. But I think that was a good way to get acclimated to it was, through the minicamp stuff. And then my line coach when I got there was John Sandusky, and one of the best to ever coach the position. And I owe a lot of my success to him. But he took me and Keith, and even after minicamp, I can remember being down there in the summer for like a month. And we both came from, I guess in college, our offenses majority ran the option, or we ran the football most of the time, where when we got to Miami, our job is going to be to protect Marino. So I hadn't done a lot of 2 points. I did some in college, but we just didn't throw the football a lot. So working with the footwork, getting adjusted to that, this and that, he took time. We went out and worked every day, and that helped speed up my progress, is getting everything down. But that's why I tell people the key things as a rookie is to go through the OTAs, the mini camps. The main thing to do is get your contract worked out. So once training camp starts, you're there, because I've seen several guys, great players, but if they hold out the majority of training camp back then, it was like 5-6 weeks. By the time the season starts, everything's installed, this and that. So you kind of lose that year, and people start questioning, are you a player or whatever, this and that. But, are you the player that they should have got? But it's basically you just hadn't been there in training camp to, learn the offense, defense, get into it and learn it and adjust, and then to where you know it and react. And if you don't do that, it could set you back. So that's one of the main things, especially for young guys, is getting in there early and getting acclimated. And the sooner you adjust to the speed of the game, then you can start working on the little things you need to correct to become a better player.
So what was it like? Like, what was the criticism you were getting in the beginning? What is something that in training camp, specifically to football, that you realized, oh crap, I'm doing this wrong, or I learned something from the coach that helped me throughout the longevity of my career? Especially,
I'm not gonna say training camp. I give you a great example. First game, Chicago. We play against Chicago Bears. I got Richard Dent. First game, preseason, however you want to call it. All of them counted me. So, it's a Hall of Fame guy. Been playing probably for close to 10 years. So I can remember lining up against him, and he would say, like, run, pass. And I was like kind of freaking out. I was like, how does he know what it is, this and that? And, the good thing, fortunately, was after the game, Marino went over to Richard Dent and talked to him. And he said, hey, what do you think about my rookies, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And he told me, he said, I think I'll be pretty good. But he told him what I was doing. And basically, he was paying attention to the weight that I would put on my hand. If I put a lot of weight on my hand, it was a higher percentage. It was going to be a run play. If I did put weight on my hand, he knew it was a pass play. So that's why I said, when you play against a veteran like that, they look for all the little things that you don't know. So He went and told, my coach, and he came like, hey, you got to work on that, blah, blah, which I didn't know I was giving it away. You just think you're just lining up, but you don't think a guy pays attention to that. But those are the type of things that helped me. So not so much in training camp, but I'll never forget that. And I'm glad he shared that, because that could have made me struggle even longer if I didn't, really work on getting in a balanced stance to where.
And that was your first game?
That was my very first game.
Wow. So shout out to him, because
thank you, sir. Yeah.
That's great. I wonder how often that happens, in the NFL, like veterans will come up to rookies and do that from opposing teams. I got to think that doesn't happen that often.
No, I don't think it happens, and I don't know. I just said it was a godsend. Normally, you veterans, you go talk to the players on the team. Like I knew some of the rookies and stuff, because we all got drafted. They might be in Chicago. You either played against them in the same conference, or you just kind of heard of them or met at the combine or whatever. So you do that, but I guess Marino was like, hey, if these two guys going to be blocking me, I need to get a fair assessment of, somebody like Richard Dent. So he knew him. He just asked him. And like I say, for me, it was a blessing in disguise, because if he didn't ask the question, it could have took, maybe 6-7 weeks before I figured out that I was, giving tips away and stuff like that. So, and that can be a detriment to the offense and all that. And you never want to be the person that's, causing a decrease in production or whatever. You want to help the team succeed. So I was just happy that he shared that information.
So what was so we've all seen videos of Marino yelling at people in the huddle. Yeah. What was the very first time Marino yelled at you? And what was it for?
I'm gonna tell you, I don't remember the first time. I know it was more than once, but I think what people got to understand is it's not personal. And, the first time you might think it is, he yells during the game, this and that, but he's so focused on, like, we're just trying to block him. But I think he looks at, if I get a little bit more time, I see what the secondary is doing. So if I can get this ball out and complete it. So he'd come over there, hey, we got to do this. I need to get a little bit more time, this and that. But then after the game, he comes to you and it's like, hey, I'm just trying to win. He explains it. He ain't got time to explain it during the game. So when you first get chewed out, you be like, man, like, okay.
This guy's, we could say it, this guy's being an asshole. What's up with this guy? Come on, man.
No, you're not going to say that, because it's Dan Marino. You might think it in your head. So,
but you're not saying it out loud.
So, after the game, he comes to you, this and that, and just, hey, I'm just trying to win, this and that. And, even I can remember when we went to the playoffs, and I think we won a game and we lost a game. And then I can't remember how we got on the subject, but, he was talking to us, and he said, hey, man, you get to the playoffs. He said, I went to the Super Bowl, and he said, next year I'll be back. He said, I hadn't made it back yet. And he said, you got to take advantage of every opportunity, because you're not promised to ever get back. And so, it gave me a different perspective on it. Say, don't just assume because we got the same players and we did this year, we're going to be back the same place next year, because it's injuries, just all different things play a factor in whether you get back to where you were. So just don't take it for granted and try to do the best, especially when you get in the off season, because it's either you win or you go home, and stuff like that stuck with me. I still remember stuff like that today.
Let me ask you, from a quarterback standpoint, we got a young guy in Tua Tagovailoa, and we have a very young offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Do those things, is that something that, I don't want to say could be a detriment, but you got to realize there's only so much experience probably within that huddle. So how do you gain the insight to be able to be a contender sooner rather than later? Is that up to the coaching staff? Is that up to just, hey, we just got to go out there and play and get the experience? Or, what do you think that they need to do to move forward and take it to the next level?
Well, I think this season will be different, and I've said this before. Last year you had COVID, so you didn't really have a training camp, so nobody got to work together as an offensive line unit. You got to gel. You got to have cohesiveness. But when you got 3 rookies, all from different schools, this and that, they really didn't have a chance to gel. I get that, and then you get. We had Fitzpatrick, but then you get Tua, which he's coming off a major injury. So even though he was playing last year, I believe he was just rehabbing to try to get back on the field. I think this year it'll be much better. But as I watched the team last year, the defense right now is the strong point. So that's a good thing because if the defense continues to play the way that they play, it doesn't put a lot of pressure on the offense to say we got to go and score 30, 35 points a game to win football games. You can be a game manager, do things to where you're not put in pressure situations to where you feel you got to force stuff. Give what the defense takes you, this and that. But with the weapons and stuff that we've added this offseason, we got a healthy quarterback. We got the OTAs. We got training camp.
We now have a joint practices that were announced yesterday. That's a huge thing.
That's a huge thing. So I think it's going to be a much better offense. But I still, and I tell people, just don't. I look at it like this: when you got a defense like we have, we don't have to go out and score 35. Just be smart with the football. You know what I'm saying? The big plays and stuff are going to come. If we score 40 points one game and then we score 20 the next, but we still win. And sometimes it's going to be a dogfight. You're not going to go out and just blow everybody out. That's not realistic. And I think a lot of people feel that. But the main thing is to get the W. Some days the offense is going to outperform the other team's defense and vice versa. That's just the nature of the beast. So take the wins as they come and let's try to get as many as we can. And by the end of the season, we'd be in position to make it to the playoffs, and then we'll take it from there. But I'm thinking we're going to be a much better football team this year.
All right, let's roll back again. Let's look at Don-Shula.
Okay.
What was Don-Shula like from the beginning, from him calling you to that first conversation to developing a rapport? Because, look, we all know what those 1970s guys say. And we know what the Baltimore Colts guys say, that he was a drill sergeant, that he was you didn't mess with him. Like, he was all about business, and that's how he got down. What do you think about Shula and your initial thoughts to, all the way up till today?
Well, I knew who he was. I didn't follow the Dolphins as closely like in the 70s. Like I said, when I grew up, I was a Cowboys fan, but we're
not holding you to that, Richmond. We're not going to hold you to that.
I don't expect you to, because I'm rolling with the fans now. But since I grew up in Dallas, that's what it was. But it was a couple of coaches that you put in that Tom Landry, Don-Shula. You know what I'm saying? It was like those were legend type coaches. So I knew of him, even though I didn't. He was just one of those coaches. So when you get the call from, Don-Shula, even though you're a first round pick, I wasn't expecting Don-Shula to actually be on the phone. You know what I'm saying? I just thought it'd be somebody from the Dolphins organization, but you get a call from the head coach. I'm like, wow. So then you meet him and you think everything's cool. Then the honeymoon's over. Once you step out on that football field, and I was like, oh, this guy is serious. You know what I'm saying? Paying attention to the details, the penalties, mental errors. I think that's why we were so successful. Is it was the little details. I think he understood that a lot of teams, it was parity through the NFL. Some players are better at positions on some teams than others, but when you can minimize the mistakes you make, the penalties you make, you put yourself in a much better position to win the football game. And he was a stickler on things like that, and knowing what you had to do on different assignments, this and that. And I think that's why we had so much success.
So, you look at a guy like Brian Flores. Maybe you've heard of him. And, we saw what he did against Cincinnati last year and going after the players. And, it sounds like he's a player's coach. But most importantly, he was a player too. Granted, he didn't play in the NFL, he played in college, but I still feel like that's a big thing when you can have that relation from a player to a coach and vice versa, that a player can be like, well, you at least played the game, you understand it. Shula obviously played, but never that well, and it wasn't really known. And so coaches are looked at a little bit differently in today's game, right? So the Shula had, the authority, had more control over the players, obviously because of the way the NFL was and the way they were back in the day. Flores, being in an NFLPA run league, and that's what it is in my opinion, what do you think, the two challenges that both those guys face, and how do you compare Flores to Shula?
Well, I definitely like Coach Flores. I met him 2 years ago. I think his first season they played Dallas, and I drove up to Dallas and had an opportunity to meet him on the sideline. So I had heard, great things from him, from people in the organization, this and that. But then you get an opportunity to meet him, and I think the thing that really impressed me more than anything was, I think the Dolphins at first year went like 0-5 or something like that before they won a game. It was like, and some of them were like blowouts. They get beat by 30 points or whatever. But what I noticed was, even though we were getting beat, the players were competing. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of holes to fill, this and that, but he had some kind of way developed the trust that players bought into what he was talking about. And then to go out and compete week in, week out, knowing probably you're not going to win the game, but still go out, give the effort, put it in, and then buy into what he's saying. And then I think we saw we definitely benefited the second half of that season. And then
should have won Coach of the Year.
Yeah, and it was a couple of games that possibly we could have another couple of games. So instead of winning 5 games, we possibly could have won.
I thought we could have won 7 that year. I really do.
And so I think once they start winning and they saw what happened, and then you've seen it was like a trickle down effect. So I always tell people, regardless, it doesn't matter whether you're coaching little league, professionals, or whatever. When you're a coach, if players know that you genuinely care about them, no matter how hard you coach them, they'll play for you. But if they think you're BSing them and this and that, I don't care if they're going to just it's going to kind of go in one ear and out the other one. And I think that's why he's having the success that he has. And like you brought up the Cincinnati game, for a coach to run out on the field like he did.
That was wild. That was so wild.
Guys pay attention to that, and they're like, I can ride with you on that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that, yeah, it's like, nah, that's enough of that. You see your coach do that. That gets everybody hyped up. So,
And I tell people, when that happened, the equivalent of that in another sport, go to hockey. When you're down and you need some, pump up, you might have your enforcer go out and start a fight, right? And in baseball, if you're down, and you're on a losing streak and you need to fire up the team, your manager's going to go out and do some craziness with the umpire and argue balls and strikes. You don't get that equivalent in the NFL. And so when we saw that from Flo against Cincinnati, I was like, I'm here for it. Yeah. I'm here for it. Like, let's go. Let's go. Like, I wanted to see more of it.
305 in the house, baby. Yeah,
All day. I see. This is why I love you, Rich. This is why I love you, man. All right, real quick, let me hit the reset button. Guys, this is Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan morning show. Hope you guys are enjoying the talk with the Miami Dolphin Great, Mr. Richmond Webb, in the building. Guys, go follow him at Richmond Webb. An amazing guy, an amazing football player, even better gentleman. Guys, while you guys are watching, make sure you are hitting that like button. The goal's 100 likes today. We're at 30 likes. Let's go. We can't grow without you. If you guys want to donate to the channel, guys, look up here, right above Richmond's head. I'm not going to say gray hair, but that head right there. Go look above that. You'll see all the different ways you can donate to the channel. Guys, we want to help this channel grow. We want to grow, and the best way to do that is with your help. So thank you guys for watching today. It's going to be awesome. We got so much more to talk about. If you guys want to ask Richmond a question, we're going to have a time for that later on in the show. If you guys look down below here, you will see hashtag Dolphin Chat, hashtag Clock Blockers. Use those hashtags in your chat questions, And I will make sure that we get those questions asked to Richmond, because you know what? This is Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. It's made for the fans, by the fans. And I can't do a show and interview somebody without asking some fan questions, because this is for you guys, the best fans in the world, Miami Dolphins fans. All right. Now that I got that out the way, let's go a little bit more into your playing career, man. So you played on good teams. You played on contending teams. You played on some bad teams. What are the differences that you've seen between a good team and a contending team and a bad team? Like, what are, like, it can be little nuances that are just different.
Yeah, I'll give you, trying to remember, was it? Okay, I think it was, I'm trying to remember what year that was. Anyway, I'll give you the scenario and you can tell me the year, but it was early. It was in the early 90s. Shula was still there. We went to go play Dallas. It was the Ice Bowl. And the Leon Lett play, you remember that? Where he—
Come on now, that's Thanksgiving, baby.
It's Thanksgiving, so I can't remember if it was 90s, it was the early 90s. But anyway, we ended up 9-2 after that game.
Mm-hmm.
We had several key injuries after that, and we only had to win one more game to make the playoffs, and we lost 5 in a row. So I've been on a team to where we've had the potential, and then injuries at key positions continue to happen, and you don't make the playoffs. I think that's frustrating. You know why, but you only get so many shots at it. So when you have a really good team like that, and then you miss it because of injury, stuff like that, that's definitely frustrating.
Well, so I mean, injuries are something, but what about like locker room experience and chemistry between coaching staff and players, or players between players? You know, without naming any names.
Yeah,
I don't want to put you on the spot like that. I mean, I'm sure you saw players that just couldn't stand each other and be on the same side of the ball, and that doesn't help.
It doesn't help, but like with me, majority of my career, even in Miami, Marino was my quarterback. I played there 11 years, 10 years he was there. So I definitely became one of the leaders, but he was more the vocal guy on offense. So even if guys didn't get along, it's time to go out and play and perform. We kind of put our differences aside and went out there and took care of business. And even vice versa on defense, always had guys. Everybody didn't know get along on the team. But for the most part, majority of the time we did. But as long as you got the leaders or guys that guys respect this and that, and the main thing, like like I'm saying, is you don't have to like each other, but when it's time, let's go out here and do what we got to do. Play as a team, as one, instead of, well, I'm not going to make that tackle, or I'm not going to make that block because I don't like the running back. You don't do things like that. So we always had good leadership when I was there with Shula, Jimmy, and my last.
What about those Cincinnati teams? The Cincinnati teams you were on. I mean, I don't think they were that. The teams themselves, record wise, like you guys did,
right.
Yeah.
Talent wise, we had just as much talent as the Dolphins. And I think that was the thing that puzzled me. But the thing that was missing was they wasn't very disciplined. But they had the talent. I mean, I saw things, like I said, when I went, and it was a guy I played with, John Jackson. He was offensive lineman, and I knew him from over the years, but he was in Cincinnati. And it would be a situation to where, guys could walk in the training room and say, "Hey, I'm not practicing today." And I was like, I was just like, wow. So
but I feel like that's a culture. That's a culture dynamic.
Culture.
That's how it's set up.
Yeah. And but it was just, if they would have been more disciplined and focused in, they had all the tools. It's just that. And then the other thing I think, and I would talk to the guys when I was up there, we could be winning a game in Cincinnati and something happened in the momentum swing. We could never get it to swing back. And I remember where I was talking to me. I know Lorenzo Neal, he's a fullback. We played together, and he went on to play with
Baltimore.
Tennessee. And did he play in Baltimore? He played the Chargers with he might have played in Baltimore. I can't remember. But anyway, we were asking questions because we had played on teams, and they were saying, it was a mindset because I don't think the Bengals had won all throughout the 90s. So every time something bad would happen, they expected it to happen.
He played with the Ravens and the Raiders and the Chargers after the Bengals.
Okay. Yeah. So we talking about the same guy. Great. One of my good friends, this and that. And we never looked at it that way because we always played with, really good teams made the playoffs. But they were stuck in a rut to where if something happened bad, they expected it and they couldn't turn it around. And I had to reassess and look, I said, I can see that because mentally it just beats you down. I think after a while, you continue to do this, blah, 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 and it happens. But I think Marvin Lewis eventually came in and started to change the culture. But, he was there and kind of, but they just couldn't get over the hump, and they was in that division with Baltimore and Tennessee. So that was always tough.
It was a wild division. My very first NFL game I ever attended was a wild weekend. It was actually Cal Ripken Jr.'s last 4 games for the Orioles. And that same weekend in Baltimore, there was a fireman's convention, and there was it was the Titans and the Ravens playing. And that was crazy because Ravens had just come off a Super Bowl. And so, man, let me tell you that those games, those Titans back when McNair was with them, those were crazy games. And you guys had some crazy ones too. And I got to talk about it because I know people are interested, man. The Bills, those Jim Kelly, Dan Marino, classic games. I mean, just looking at stuff I went in and did my research and looked at some, you and this guy, Daryl Talley. You guys had some hard fought in the trenches stuff. So, I mean, what was it like playing against Bruce Smith and Daryl Talley and those Buffalo Bills teams?
Well, the thing is when a lot of times people talk about the Bills, they talk about the offense. They talk about Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, James Lofton. That was the offense. But, they'll mention Bruce Smith. Of course, he's the best I ever played against. But like you said, Daryl Talley, Cornelius Bennett, Henry Thomas, Bryce Pop, they had a really good defense at the same time as well, but the offense mainly gets majority of the attention. But they were a very well balanced team, and I tell people all the time, if that field goal doesn't go wide right against the Giants in that Super Bowl, I think
they'd be considered the greatest team of all time.
Well, or they would have maybe a little bit better success, but it went wide right, and then they played who was the Redskins next year, got blew out. Dallas blew out. The last one,
4 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah, it was just.
Let me interrupt and ask: would you rather go to no Super Bowls or go to 4 straight Super Bowls and lose?
I think I go to 4 because I think you got to have the expectations that you're gonna win one. And I don't think you go in the mindset of, I think you're going to lose. But I remember, I think it was the second when they were playing the Redskins, and something happened where Thurman Thomas' helmet came up missing. It was something crazy. It was like at the Super Bowl, it was like nothing like that's supposed to happen. So it was crazy. But I never played, but I take the 4 losses rather than not go at all. I would at least want a shot to compete to see if, you're not guaranteed to win it, but man, I take that. I take a shot at going. Yeah, I would.
What about those Jets and Patriots teams back when you played, man? Because they weren't. The Jets have always been the Jets, but the Patriots were not always the Patriots. So what were those teams like when you played against them?
When I first got there, I think we kind of had our way with the Patriots, and then Bill Parcells comes in and starts changing the culture. Drew Bledsoe, Willie McGinnis.
Start seeing the building blocks of what they were about to become.
Yeah, it's a process, but he's building it, and I think they go to the Super Bowl and lose to, was it Green Bay? Maybe when Bledsoe was there, I think, but so he builds it, but like early on, we kind of had our way with this. The Jets was always one of those teams. It didn't matter whether they were 1-15 or 12-4. They always seemed like, especially up in New York, they would always just give us fits. It was just one of those games that was hard to play. And then the game that sticks out is, I remember we played the Jets on a Monday night game, and we went up like we were killing them. And it came back and beat us. I know Brian Cox was on the Jets at that time, because I remember we were walking in the tunnel and he was saying something to me at halftime. But they've always been one of those teams that thorn in our side, just battles back and forth. So I think that's the deal with the Jets. You can throw the record out. It's just we don't like each other. And
JETS suck all day, Richmond, all day. I love it. Dude, have you ever been to a MetLife takeover game?
MetLife.
Oh, so I'm going to say you haven't, but that's all right. We need to get you up there. So Dolphins NYC, one of the fan clubs up in New York, the big fan club up in New York, has an event that they do every year called the MetLife Takeover.
Okay.
And there's I think at one year they had 3,000 fans, and we took over like 4 sections up top.
Really?
Bro, it's called the MetLife Takeover. It's awesome. Shout out to Igor and Michelle from Dolphins NYC. We got to get you up there, bro. Like, that is an experience. If you've ever been, like, Saturday night, we have a party at the bar that they have there in Midtown in New York called Slattery's.
Okay.
And then Sunday, we have like a big tailgate in the morning that the Honorable Solo D performs at. Shout out to Solo D, guys. Solo D's in the chat room right now watching. He says, "What's up, Rich?"
Good morning, Solo. I see you, my brother.
And then with that Saturday night at Midtown, like, we've had Jay Fielder come and do stuff. We usually do raffle giveaways for charity and stuff like that. But I got to get you in touch with Igor, man. We got to get you up for the Dolphins NYC, because that takeover is awesome.
Hey, when I went to the Dallas game on the road, it was quite a few Dolphin fans showed up for that. I'm not going to say it was 3,000, but
I want to say they averaged like 1,500 to 2,000.
We represented. I'm telling you, we represented in Dallas.
Dude, Dolphins fans travel, man. Like, they straight travel. Like, here, so, hey, you know what? Shameless plug time. All right. So we have this thing called the DWA map. All right. And this DWA map is something that we have on MiamiSportsMusic.com. Check it out. And you see here on the left, it's got all the fan clubs from across the world. I know, dude, you can see where everybody is at, which I love. And so it gives you the opportunity, like, if you're in a city for work or whatever, and it's during the season, and you want to catch somebody's, a game with other Dolphins fans, that's the way to do it. And what's really cool is when the Dolphins play in these cities, usually the hosting fan club will put on an event. So, like, this year, the Positive Porpoise, Danny Johnson over at TPP.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to you, by the way, Danny. They're doing a thing called Fan Fest at the at the Tennessee Titans game in New Year's.
That's a nice town, bro. When I went to the draft, I had a good time in Nashville. It's a nice town.
That's going to be awesome. And then obviously every year, the Godfather, Mark Angelo, and Scott Howell, they do fan club weekend in Miami, where they bring in the out-of-town fan clubs and host them, and we do all sorts of different events. You've been a part of that. You've seen that. Dolphin fans get down, bro.
That blew me away. I met Solo, Mark. I met so many Dolphin fans, and they took over boat campers. I was like, my goodness. And but just a bunch of great people. I met people from California. I think I met some people from Mexico. They're all Dolphin fans, but just from all over. Probably a few from New York, but it was cool. And Solo performed there too. Yeah, he got the
Solo
crowd.
performs everywhere, man. That man is internationally known. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's get to some comments here, and then we'll get back into it. But I know some people are asking questions. JD says, you got to mention New Jersey. It ain't just New York, Steve. Put some respect on Jersey, brah. Hey, I don't want no smoke, JD. I don't want no smoke at all.
Hey, Jersey, joke. I went to college with a guy. He was from East Orange, New Jersey. And, Jersey got some spots that ain't no joke. So we definitely gonna show Jersey some love for real.
Hey, Jersey. Shout out to Jersey. That's all I'm going to say. Shout out to Jersey. Let's see here, man. The touchdown with Doug Smith says, Richmond Webb, what's up? Shout out to Doug. All right, let's see here. Pamela, I've always wanted to go to a Dolphins game against the Jets. Want to give it back to them for how they act in our stadium. Love it. Let's see here. NorCal Dolphin Club in the house. That's Mark. That's Mark Angelo right there.
Mark, yeah, he good people. Yeah, that's my man right there.
All right, Estephen, who's a member of the YouTube family. Guys, if you are not a member of the YouTube channel, be one, like Estephen. He's that guy. All right, Richmond, do you miss Texas barbecue in Miami? # clock blockers.
It was a couple of pretty good barbecue spots. And then at one time, I played this guy, Stephen Braggs. He's from Texas. He played at the University of Texas, but he started at Cleveland, and he opened up a barbecue spot. I want to say it was in Fort Lauderdale for a minute when I was there playing. So, man, it ain't nothing like that Texas barbecue. But yeah, I can
barbecue.
Gotta have it, brother.
Fantasy fan panel, also known as Pete. Pete, I gotta say it, even though Richmond, he's our local troll. He's we don't agree with everything that he says, but he's part of the family, and we have to invite him into the barbecue. We love Pete. He says, has Webb been a coach after football? Did you ever get into coaching?
I did not. No. I've done some football camps. Guys I played with maybe do that, but never organized football, nothing like that. I never coached. So, no.
All right, let's see here. Guys, make sure you use the #Dolphin Chat, #Clock Blockers to get your question up and get your question asked. Fins up. Shout out to Chef Zhu, always helping me out in the chat rooms.
What type of food Chef be cooking? A little bit of everything.
Oh boy, he be cooking up some words for these fans when they get out of line. That's why they call him the chef, boy. He don't play. He don't play. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, give a shout out to Pete with the $4.99 donation to the channel. Flores, get Webb on the coaching tree.
I love it. That's a hard job. I respect the guys that do it, and a lot of time it's more time consuming than being a player. So it's definitely a sacrifice. But I appreciate the love. But no, I have a lot of respect for those guys that do it. Year in, year out. That's a serious grind.
Fantasy fan panel says, troll? No, I'm no troll, dude. All right, Fantasy, I got to have a name for you then. I got to give you some sort of name. All right? You got to give me a better adjective to use if you don't want to use it.
He's not going to give up the name. You already
I love it. Brandon asked, hey, when Jamarcus Webb was on the line for Miami, did they ever call Richmond? # Miami Sports Music Clock Blockers. Do you remember Jamarcus Webb at all?
Mm-hmm. Distant cousin.
Okay. Did they ever did they ever no? Okay.
Yeah, no, they never called or whatever. I knew his agent and stuff real well. So I would talk to them, but nobody from the Dolphins called. I think that they got it. They didn't need to call me. They just yeah.
George says, hey, Richmond recently added a gem met Richmond Webb rookie card. Finally came across a PSA 10 1990 Pro Set rookie. Score, baby. Do you have your own football cards somewhere? Do you have your own?
Have some of them, but man, I was just I want to say it was just on the news. these Pokemon cards or something was like, it was talking about how like a set of them or whatever is like, just like taking
Bro.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Logan Paul just fought Mayweather, came into the ring on Sunday night wearing like a decked out glass case with a Pokemon Charizard card in it that was worth like $300,000.
It's crazy, I'm telling you. Yeah.
Bro, it is insane some of the money that those things do. Angel Ortiz, shout out to Angel. What was your most all-time favorite moment as a Dolphin? Hashtag DWA, hashtag Miami Sports Music, hashtag Clock Blockers, hashtag Richmond for Hall of Fame. We'll get in there in a little bit too about that conversation.
Probably, I definitely one of my favorite when Shula became the winners coach. We were on the road, playing in Philadelphia, and the ironic thing was the quarterback that finished the game was Doug Peterson, who eventually became the head coach at the Eagles and won a Super Bowl. So I played with Doug Peterson. He was a backup quarterback for us.
You played with Jaws too.
Yeah.
Ron Jaworski. You played your backups there in Miami were a little crazy for a while.
Crazy. We was rolling.
Kozar.
Steve
right?
Bird. Well, Jay Fiedler was a starter. Yeah, but he's from the Jersey. He's from New York, from I want to say like Farmingdale, Long Island, New York, somewhere over there.
We know his real love is with the Dolphins, not that green team.
Yeah.
We tell him that all the time. Well, let me ask you, man, what was the difference? This is a good question. What was the difference between Fielder and Marino at the end of Marino's career? Because I don't want to compare Fielder to Marino in his prime, but there had to have been some nuances that were similar or even better or just different, period.
Well, I think that the thing that was similar with they both had the confidence and they believed they could win football games. You got to have that as a quarterback. If you don't have the confidence, when you walk in the huddle, guys looking you in the face, if you're not confident you're going to win, everybody else is going to feed off of that negativity. So they both had that. But, Jay was a more mobile quarterback where, even the time Marino were left from start to finish, he was just a pocket quarterback. Limited, had some lower extremity injuries to where, he just wasn't a mobile quarterback, but he could just sling that rock. And I think teams knew that he wasn't going to run, so that's why we get all the crazy stunts, blitzes, this and that. But most of the time they couldn't get to him, and it was always a chess match because if you blitz him and he reads it, he's going to kill you. But if you sit back and don't blitz him, he's going to kill you. It's just, you're going to take your medicine one way or another. So that was that. But Jay was a more mobile quarterback. And he could make plays with his leg, but understood the offense, was a leader, took charge, and he's a great quarterback. I think we went 11-5 my last year there. So he's a good quarterback.
All right, real quick, let me hit the reset button, and then we'll get right back into it. Guys, I want to remind you real quick, if you guys are watching right now, Wednesday's goal, which is today, is 100 likes and 15 donations. This week's goal total was 100 donations. So we got 39 likes right now. So we pretty much need 60 more likes to get to 100 for the day. The only way we do that is if you guys share this on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, wherever it is. Go share that Richmond Webb is on right now, taking your questions, because that's what we do here on Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. We take care of the fans. If you guys donate, shout out to the people that have donated so far this week. I think we got 4 or 5 donations so far today. So about 11 more donations to go for today on the goal. And this week, the week goal is 100 donations. Remember, your donations help the channel grow. And so that's what we want to do. We want to grow. We want to be able to do more things, have more amazing guests, and even do stuff in person with people like Richmond Webb as we move forward. So all that stuff helps the channel grow. All right, back to the questions for you guys. Here we go. Mr. Richmond Webb, I can make a lot of things. I have proof on my IG, Facebook. Check me out. You'll be amazed. Chef, I will send Richmond your IG stuff. So
Yeah,
that way you get it.
I'm gonna write down Facebook. I ain't on Instagram.
He ain't in on that Instagram thing, man. Look, he's writing it down. That's what I do here on this. Come on now. Where y'all getting this? Y'all ain't getting this nowhere else except Miami Sports Music. Clap Blackers in the morning. Love it. All right, Duke, Dolphin Chat. Who do you rate better as a wide receiver, Clayton or Duper? Boy, you're going to get this man in trouble. You better stop, Duke. Hey, by the way, Duke lives in Australia.
It was a reason they called them the Mark brothers, and they were brothers. And I'll say this: Duper was the deep threat. It seemed like he always, he was a deep threat because he was fast. I mean, he was really fast. And Clayton was the guy that ran the routes, but the deep threat. But the combination of them is what made him so well. And then I can just remember being in the huddle sometime that both of them would be in the huddle, and Marino would give him options. He would call a play, but he would be like, okay, if he's playing you this way, do this. If he's playing you this way, do that. He tell Clayton that, then he go to Duper, tell him something. So he's got 4 or 5 things he's got to remember. He's going to look at, how they lined up, but depending on how the defensive back plays him, he does it. It could be a back shoulder fade. It could be over the top. He could run. It was just like, it was almost kind of like sandlot football, but it actually worked because they were in unison together.
So, look, see, I love little stories like that. It's awesome. We already asked about that. I want to make sure I get in. Scott Mitchell and Steve DeBerg in 93 when Marino went down, probably the most talented Dolphins team with the 94 that Richmond ever played with. Would you agree with that?
I'll put it like this. I remember when Marino went down, Scott Mitchell came in, and me and Scott were in the same rookie class. So I remember, I want to say we was in Cleveland, I think, when Marino went down. But anyway, Scott Mitchell comes in, and, we practiced with him and all that. But when you're the starter gets the majority of the reps. So, hey, everything's going to be okay, blah, blah, blah. But it's just, you've been so used to Marino being in there that it doesn't, he's hurt now. You're like, man, what's going to happen? And I think one of the first passes he threw, it was an interception, whatever. He's like, oh, man. But he came back, settled down, and, man, he really had a great year that year and ended up going to the Detroit Lions after that and got paid. So
he got paid.
Paid, yeah. Well, considering back then that was getting paid.
Goodness well, you wish.
Yeah.
That you I'm getting feedback somewhere. I don't know if you guys can hear that feedback. Okay. Look, Hamlet B says Richmond Webb and Keith Sims were a wall for many years for the Finns. Legend right there. What was it like playing with Keith Sims?
Oh, it was great. You would have swore me and Keith played high school, college, you name it. I mean, I'm telling you, I always tell people it's like a match made in heaven because we just naturally gelled and it didn't take long. And I knew if a guy came inside, Keith was going to make him pay. Vice versa. If my guy dropped off or whatever, I was coming to try to, nail the guy that was over him. So we had a way of communicating without even having to say anything. We could look at each other and kind of knew what each other were thinking. So
we got to get Keith on the show.
Got to get him on the show. He's got a thing he's promoting with Soulful. I think his Instagram is Soulful RV or whatever. He does RVing. He's big time. Yeah, he's big, bro. He's big. That would be a good subject.
Dude, I would love to have him on. And I'll tell you what, when I had you on the afternoon show last week,
yeah,
I had a lot of people said that they want you two on the show together. So
yeah.
Have you guys ever done like an interview lately together with the both of you?
We've interviewed, but it's probably been a while. I don't know if we've done.
Then that's what we got to do. We got to get you on with him.
Podcast together, but yeah, that might be something. But yeah, That'll be interesting to talk about him in the so far vein. I mean, he's into it. So
All right, you're gonna help me out with that one. We're gonna get Keith Sims up here, and that'll be a good look. That'll be exciting. Y'all be on the lookout for that. You know what y'all need to do if y'all want to see Keith Sims and Richmond Webb on the show? Richmond, tell them what they need to be doing to that button right now. They need to be hitting that
like button.
all day. You heard Richmond Webb. I'm gonna have Richmond come to your house. Don't play with me. All right. Pamela asked, by the way, Pamela is an amazing, valued person who's been watching and be contributing to the show as a wonderful, amazing, loyal listener. She asked, who was the most hated guy you played against?
Hated? That's a strong word.
That's what my wife says.
I'll put it like this. It was some guys that you would play against and you trash talk, during the game, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the game, you normally shake hands and it's okay. But it was just, like you said, there were certain teams we didn't like anybody in the AFCs, we didn't like them. But after the game was over, normally it was cordial enough to where you could go shake a guy's hand. But I think it was more to deal with the team than most of the time the individuals in my case.
Jason Miller, who's the president of SoCal Fan Club in Southern California. By the way, he has an off-season picnic that he does every year that gets I learned about like 300 or 400 people.
At NorCal's event, I probably met Jason. I just don't see his face, but they were trying to get it's a Northern California and Southern California, and I heard about this picnic. Yeah, big time.
So, bro, in 2 years, so he had his 8th annual one about a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Next year is 9th annual, but the 10th one,
we
might have to get you out there for that 10th annual picnic, man, because that's going to be fun. We're talking like it's going to be big.
Man, I went out to. I had to go out to. This was a few years ago. I had to go out to California, and they was talking about, oh, it's hot. This and that. It's about 80, 85 right now. It does get hot there, but it's not like Miami. It's more of a drier heat, and the traffic is bad. I'll give them that. But you can actually have a convertible and enjoy it. It's expensive to live out there, but man, it's beautiful out there. This and that. And I was like, I see why people pay to stay out here. It's beautiful out there. It's just, and you get the weather too. So I was like, man, I said, okay, I get it now.
Well, they do watch parties. They have their own fan club over there. So Jason said he's got to get you to come out to watch a game with the fan club, maybe an away game or something, to come out and watch the game. So I'll hook you, Jason. I'll give him your information. You two can see if y'all can make something work where he can. Jason will take care of you. Trust me, he'll take care of you. It'll be good times.
I believe it. Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Big Time. Shout out with Big Time with the $3.30 donation. If you want to get your question to the top of the list, be like Big Time. What defensive player gave you the toughest time? Now I know you already said Bruce Smith, so somebody besides Bruce Smith.
Somebody besides Bruce Smith, he's the one that comes to mind. But some of the other guys that I played against there were Derek Thomas. I didn't play against him often, but he was pretty fast. He was pretty tough. Matter of fact, we played against Clyde Simmons. He was a defensive end with the Eagles, but he was over there with Jerome Brown, Reggie White. I mean, that whole defensive front was really good. And when playing against him, he was pretty tough. But Bruce would be the toughest. But beside those, Derek Thomas was pretty tough. And then Clyde Simmons was another one that kind of comes to mind.
Let's see here. Who hashtag Dolphin Chat, hashtag Clock Blocker. Who is Richmond still tight with? Who are you still tight with from back in the day?
From back in the day? Of course, Keith Sims, Tim Bowens. Remember Tim Bowens?
Tim Bowens. Gotta get my man Tim on too, bro. That's my guy.
You don't know how to do that.
That's my guy, though. I love Tim.
Yeah. Man, he's one of the most respected guys. You ask anybody that played with him, just they love. We all love Timbo. He was one guy that nobody messed with in the locker room. He was probably the most feared guy in the locker room. Who else was I just thinking about?
Guys, we're at 44 likes. So if you want to help Richmond, we're gonna push Richmond to get Tim Bowens on. Like you got to hit 100 likes in order for Tim to make that call. Got to hit 100 likes. Got to do it. Otherwise, Richmond ain't gonna make that call.
I would need a magic wand or something to get Big Tempo on.
Who else?
Mark Higgs, running back, Keith Jackson, Ed Perry. Those some of the guys that come bit. I just talked to who was it? Yeah, I think Timbo's the last guy. And then I keep in touch with like John Gamble. He was my strength coach when him, all that. So I keep in touch with several people. Yeah.
Let me ask you, for a young rookie lineman like Liam Eschenberg from Notre Dame, or these, the three guys that we had from last year, how important is a strength and conditioning coach to those guys' advancement in level of play?
It's not only those guys. It's all the positions. You look at schools like Notre Dame, Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, teams that have a lot of success. Typically, they have a really good strength coach, and depending on the position you play, some of your smaller, they need that speed, quickness, fast twitch muscles. Where the bigger guys need to be offensive line. You need to be strong, but you got to be able to anchor in case a guy bull rushes you. But you got to be in a condition that if you got to play 15 play drive to go score. So it's you got to take all that into consideration, and then the different positions. So you can't just say this one thing fits every player or every position, and it doesn't. So that's when you got a good strength coach.
All right, guys, let's hit the reset button real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the Hall of Fame stuff from my man Richmond Webb.
Hey guys, I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, the Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from Fins Up SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta Dolphin Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal Dolphin Club.
And you're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
I see you bobbing your head back there to Solo's music at the end of that.
I can't admit all those guys.
Hey man, so that was at the picnic a couple of weeks ago. So I asked Mark and his wife. I said, "Hey, could you get this for me if it's possible?"
Yeah.
So not like a couple of hours later, I get a text from Mark's wife, and it was this, and they're like, "Yo, we did that on the first take. It only took one take to do it."
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty dope. I love all four of those guys. Oh my God.
I think I've met.
You met all of them. I'm
three of the
positive.
four I met. Scott, Georgia, I met him at NorCal's.
Scott, you also met at Fan Club Weekend. He helps put that on with Mark.
Yeah, I met him. Yeah, and I think they took me to breakfast. I think like a day or so after that. So it was Scott, Jason, Mark, and what was the other guy's name?
Danny Johnson from TPP.
Yeah, I think I met all those guys. Yeah, all the faces. Look, I'm pretty good with faces. It's sometimes the names I lose. Like, oh yeah, I know they click there.
All right, I want to give a big shout out to Rob Goss with the $20 donation, biggest donation of the day so far. Appreciate it. Before we get in, he says, "Richmond, do you still keep in contact with Dan Marino? And if so, like, what do you guys talk about?"
I do. I don't bother Dan like on the phone, but when I go down there, I'll see Dan, or like if they come for a game here, I'll see him. But I know he's during the days when I make most of my phone calls, so I know he's over at the facility working. So if you're working, I'm not gonna bother you. But when I see him, we always catch up and all that. But I do keep in touch with Dan to answer your question. Yeah.
NorCal says, I ate more food than Richmond. I'm ready for the Waffle House challenge.
NorCal lightweight, man. He ain't no more food than me, man. Cut that out.
I love it. Okay. Solo D says, off-season cookout, SoCal, fins up. Love it. All right, man. I want you guys to get your questions in. So, and big shout out to Rob again. Big time.
Rob, yeah, that's big time.
What should we call it? Hashtag Dolphin Chat, hashtag Clock Blockers. So let's get some more questions in. We got about, 20 more minutes, somewhere in that range. If you guys hit 100 likes, we are going to stay on for a little bit longer. So let's go. All right. Let's make that happen. Okay, here we go. Let's do this right here, man. We got to talk about it. All right. So here is, you've been eligible since 2008. Offensive tackle from Arkansas Tech. First round, 9th overall, 1990. 1980s all-decade team for the NFL. First team All-Pro in 92 and 94. Second team All-Pro in 93 and 95. Made the Pro Bowl in 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, and 96. You were a part of the all-rookie team in 1990, okay? So this is from notinthehallofFame.com. And out of everybody who voted, you are at 83% that they say you should be in the Hall of Fame. So, look, man, the consensus is out there. Like, what do you think? What are your thoughts on it, man? I mean, I know how you probably feel, but I want to hear in your words, what do you feel? What has been told to you? Like, all that stuff.
Well, they really don't tell you nothing. You just go back on the ballot. But I think the good thing is your name keeps coming up. And if you actually go look at some of the guys that's on the list, there's a lot of guys that's deserving that goes in there. The thing is the pot keeps getting bigger. So even though they pull some out, each year more guys go back in. But I think Steve Atwater went in last year or whatever, and he was the guy who played safety at Denver Broncos. But I remember him because he played at Arkansas when I was at A&M. Big hitter, this and that, and so I was happy to see him actually make it in. So I just tell people, some people make it in quickly. If you make it in there quickly, good. I'm happy for you. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, and I just saw something, I guess, within the last couple of weeks that they were saying, Mark Clayton is coming up for possibly getting a push to get put in there. And I think, he definitely deserves to be in there. At least one of the Mark brothers is just, he has some outstanding statistics. You got to look at when he played versus not the offenses and stuff have changed now. So you can't compare him to current players. But back then, he has a number, so I'd love to see him get in there because he's definitely deserving.
It's so hard, for a non-position player like wide receiver, running back, or quarterback, or whatever to get into the Hall. But I look at guys like, look, I live up here in the Maryland area. I'm actually really good friends with Jonathan Ogden's brother, Marcus. And so Jonathan was a shoo-in. But if I look at both of your careers, the only thing that's really missing between the two, in my opinion, okay, this is just mine, is the Super Bowl rings. But that shouldn't be the reason you get into the Hall of Fame or not get in. It's not based on a team's accomplishment. It's based on a player's accomplishments.
It shouldn't be, but sometimes it is. A lot of times, if you're on a team that went to multiple Super Bowls, and especially if you won multiple Super Bowls and won, it seems like that carries weight. But you're right, it should be on individual statistics. And, it's just like they'll say a lot of times, even on quarterbacks, sometimes they'll say, well, he's won a Super Bowl 2 times or 3 times, this and that. Really, you win the Super Bowl as a team, but some kind of way, if you're the quarterback, you either get labeled as the winner or the loser. And that ain't really fair because it's a team sport. And a lot of times, if you're labeled as a loser, that could make it harder for you to get in versus you could have had great stats in the game, but, you know, it could have been other factors that you didn't win the football game. So it's not right to just pin that all the time on one person. So I look at that sometimes and be like, okay, but it does carry weight if you are a Super Bowl winner. It seems to me it does. It looked like it does. I'll agree to that. It might have froze up. I believe you're right. I think he did freeze up. So I'm going to let him just work on that. And I'm sure he'll be back in a few seconds. But I think it froze up or something. So no, I can't take over Stephen D's show. I see your comment, Norcal. That's my man. So we're going to just wait a few minutes or let him work out what he got to work out. And I'm sure he'll be back in a few seconds. I guess if y'all keep typing the questions, if I can see them, I'll try to answer them. But we'll just wait till he gets back in here. Thank you, George. Smooth transition, done like a pro. Chef waiting on you, Stephen D. You got to get unfroze, brother. Do you think Dolphins team is close to a championship? Real thoughts on for it. I think we're definitely headed in the right direction. I think the first thing we got to focus on is winning the division, and it looked like we're going to have a renewed rivalry with the Buffalo Bills. So I think right now it's going to be Buffalo, Miami. So first thing we need to do is win the division and try to have the best record possible. But I think within 2 or 3 years, barring injury and everything keeps going in the right direction, I think we'll have a chance to compete for a championship. That's the way it looked like it's lining up. That's my opinion. Let me see something real quick. Okay, now I was trying to see if he sent me something in my Twitter chat. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna get back.
I'm in.
Okay, I see.
Use my phone. I don't know what's going on with my computer, but that thing straight froze, son.
I didn't want to log out and then not. Do you think I should log out and you want to try to bring me back in? Uh-oh.
All right, I'm back in. Let me pull this off. There we go.
Okay.
You gotta love the power of internet.
Man, hey, NorCal told me to take over your show, bro.
Hey, I don't know what he thinks he's doing. I don't know what he thinks he's doing. All right, let me do this while I'm trying to do this. Marino's hacking the server.
You got to pay a ransom, brother. Yeah, Marino got it. You got to pay a ransom.
See, you guys, hey, you know what it is if they donate, it'll help me get better equipment. That's what it is. Come on now, guys. You know what the deal is.
It all adds up, yeah.
What does this say here? Read that. I can't read that. That's small.
Thanks for all you did as a Miami Dolphin. Your contributions made me a fan of the game and the team. Keeping the quarterback clean is an unsung job, but you are appreciated amongst fans. Thank you, A-Rod. I appreciate it, brother. Look like he's smoking a nice cigar or something. I don't look like his hand over his mouth. Okay.
Let's see here. What about that?
I feel the offensive line should be much better. I still think they got room to improve, but with this second year, I think the question for me was solidifying the right tackle position. I think Liam will be. I think he'll probably be the starter. He's played the tackle position. I think they'll move. I'm half drawing a blank with the guy that played. I think he'll be a guard. Was it Hunt who played right last year? I'm having drawn a blank right now. But anyway, I think it'll be better because you'll have two true tackles, and you'll have some competition on the interior to where it should be a much better. They should do better, but they still got room to improve.
Marcus, how confident are you in the Miami O-line this year moving forward?
Yeah, I'm confident. I think they're going to be better. They had a year to get, like Jackson and the young guys had a chance. They got a year up under their belt, get stronger. And then I think with the other additions of Waddle, Parker, the other receiving core that we have, Brett Fuller from we got from the Texans. We got some weapons. So they just give him time to get the ball on the field. We should be good. Yeah.
Richmond, do you think this Dolphins team is close to a championship? Real thoughts.
Yeah. I had told her, I said, I think in the next 2 to 3 years, I think the thing we got to focus on is winning the division. And I think right now it's setting up like it used to be. It's going to be Buffalo, Miami. But the first thing, win the division. I think that should be our goal. And once we get in the playoffs, we can take it there. I think the next 2 or 3 years, we should, if we continue to draft and do the things that Coach Flores and Chris Greer doing, and not have injury stuff, we should be pretty close to competing for a championship.
What do you think of the two offensive coordinators?
I think it works. I think once we work together and no egos or whatever. I think anything can work as long as you put the team first. And I tell people that about Coach Flores and Chris Greer. I don't think they really care who gets the credit as far as who we draft, pick, whatever. But it's what's best for the team. As long as they work together in unison, we'll be fine. So I don't have an issue with it.
Let's see here.
Or is there any doubts you have on this team this year? If so, what? No, I don't have any doubts. I think the only thing is, you got an extra game. So I'd like to see, I always say injury, as long as you don't have injuries, sometimes it can affect production. But I think I could see us winning 11 to 12 games this year. I think somewhere around there. We should be somewhere around there.
Dude, I'm trying to restart my computer, and this thing is like frozen to the bone. It's like a new computer, too. I apologize for the technical difficulties here, people. Let's see here. What else you guys got? I'll do a few more questions.
Oh, what are your thoughts going into the season? I think this is really Tua's finally healthy, and I think with the offense, if it's going to be similar to what he did in Alabama, that's what I've been hearing. I think that's what's losing. And we saw the type of numbers that he had with that, and like I just said, with like Parker, Fuller, Waddle, the type of weapons they've surrounded him with. If he gets the ball to him, you can definitely see a transformation in his body, the way he's worked this offseason to get bigger, stronger. So I'm expecting to kind of get back to his Alabama form, and I think he'll have a great year.
Let's see here. I got it. This isn't my question. Estefan asked this to everybody who comes on.
Rosie Perez or Selma? Is it Hayek? Who is Selma? I probably know who it is, but what she played in?
Oh man, what does Selma Hayek play in? She's played in everything. She's in the new movie, The Hitman's Bodyguard 2, that's about to come out. She's playing Samuel L. Jackson's wife. Oh my God, why can't I'm having a brain fart. I can't think of all the million other movies she's been in.
Selma.
To me, I said Rosie Perez, though.
I'm old school. I know Rosie. I know Rosie. I probably know her, but I'm going to say Rosie. I'm old school, but
All right, let's see here. All right, man. This is not the way I wanted to end it, but I also want to be able to put on a good show for everybody, so I feel bad. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, Selma Hayek was in Grown Ups. She was Adam Sandler's husband or wife.
I'm gonna stick with I can't place a face, so I'm gonna go with Rose.
I'll tell you what, when we get off here, you go look at Selma, and then on Twitter, you answer the question on Twitter.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, man. Look, this is not the last time I want to have you. There was still a few more things I wanted to talk to you about. Unfortunately, you gotta love the technology. Sometimes it does. It works for you when it wants to work for you. You know how it is.
That's how it is, brother. We don't even sweat the small stuff. We just redo it. Like you say, you grab the cell phone, you pick it up, you pop right back in there. But you know what? The good thing is,
what?
Waiting for you to come back, bro.
Hey, man, I got the fans here are absolutely amazing. I could not do it without them. I don't even know how many likes we got today. I know it was close to 50. We didn't reach that 100 mark just yet, but we're working our way there. And we didn't get to the 15 goal, but I know we were close to it. We were only a few away from the 15 single donations. But shout out to everybody who did donate today. Big deal that you guys did. If you guys do want to donate, you guys can look at the top, see the Cash App there as well as the PayPal. But at the end of the day, man, NorCal, you're killing me, NorCal. I'm ready to give the Richmond show, Stephen, to give to the Richmond show. Really, NorCal.
Hey, that ain't nothing but love when they ride you like that, Stephen D. So they love you, bro, when they mess with you like that. So that's good.
This is the first time I have had this problem. I swear. I swear I've never had this problem in all I've been doing this. So this is a new one for me. Shout out to Rob G with the $1 donation. Appreciate it. All right, one more question. What is your expectations for Jalen Phillips next year? Stephen and Rich. Hashtag Clockblockers, hashtag Miami Sports Music. Look, here's what I'll say. I think Jalen Phillips, number one, Mr. Turnover Chain himself. I think he's going to do big things. And I'm sure that, Rich can attest to this. You have a good outside linebacker or, defensive end rushing the quarterback, and you have somebody like Emmanuel Ogbah on the other side, along with Van Ginkel and some of these other guys. Bro, I think our defense this year is going to be stout. I think it's going to be a top-rated defense, if not the best defense in the NFL. And you had a guy like Jalen Phillips. I mean, I could easily see 10 sacks this year, minimum.
Yeah, I think, like you said, football became fun again when he transferred to University of Miami. And to actually play for you and then actually get drafted by the Dolphins. So now you got love from the youth, and you got love from the Dolphin fans. And he was considered one of the top players in the draft. It was just some teams had concerns about the concussion, but I think he's going to have. He's going, like you said, 10 sacks is realistic with the way they play their defense and stuff, and so I think people will be extremely happy with the selections we had this year. But I think he's going to have a great
year. Rob, I can't put that question up there, but what I will say is, and I'll edit it. Richmond, how many times will Agba and Phillips Tom Brady in week 5? I'm going to take out the expletive there.
I'm going to say they'll get at least 3 sacks.
Dude, I think we own him in Florida, man.
Yeah.
We own him in Florida.
Yeah.
I don't care that it's in Tampa.
At least 3.
Chef Shu says, thank you, Stephen D, for allowing my questions to be answered. And thank you, Mr. Richmond Webb, for answering them. Hashtag fins up. Guys, this is your show. I just host it, and so I want you guys to know that I'm here for you guys and that I support you guys the way you guys have been supporting me. And I appreciate the love. And I'm sorry, so sincerely sorry for the technical difficulties today. Not how I would have wanted the show to go or end. But hey, we're gonna be back tomorrow. We're gonna do it. So make sure you guys check out tomorrow's show, where we're gonna, kind of go over what Richmond talk about. We're gonna try to put a game plan together, which is one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and we'll talk about it with the fans of putting something together, a mission to get Richmond into the Hall of Fame, some sort of hashtag and social media post that we can start promoting on a regular, because I think in order to get you in the Hall of Fame, Rich, it's on us, the fans, now at this point, to be clamoring for it. And so we need to do everything that we can to help you out to get you in the Hall. And that's one of my goals here on this show, is to get you in the Hall of Fame.
Man, I appreciate the love. And I like I say, my experience with Dolphins fans has always been great. Some of the best people I've met, on off the field or whatever. So I always look forward to try to answer people questions on Twitter and engage with them. But mostly everybody is forward thinking, is really happy with the way the team is going and stuff like that. And even if it's a couple that's not, or they don't like all the moves, you're not supposed to. But at the end of the day, I think we all got one common goal: is we want to see the Dolphins win and succeed and get back to the good old days. And I can appreciate that. So I appreciate the fans as much as they appreciate me. Thank you guys as well.
Richmond, where can they find you on social media, and also your show? Tell them about your podcast that you have.
Yeah, the podcast is with Reason and Ball Game, and I know a lot of people probably know Reason over here, but
Inside the NFL.
Inside the NFL, and on Twitter, I'm just Richmond Webb. Facebook, I think, was just about filled up. But it's Richmond Webb. But on Twitter, I'm Richmond Webb. I'm not on Instagram. I'll be having time keeping up with those 2 social media sites. My wife said I need to get on Instagram, but I might set up. If I do, it'll be Richmond Webb. But right now, it's just Twitter and Facebook, but mainly Twitter, because Facebook, I don't think I have too many more spots for friends. But I have to check it and see.
All right, man. Well, we're gonna do what we can, and the next time we're gonna see you is gonna be with Keith Sims, right? We're gonna get Keith on.
I'll see if I can run Keith down and see if he'd be willing. But I'm telling you, you can do us together, but you need to do him individual well, because I'm telling you, a lot of people don't. Well, I'm sure some people know about RVing, but I mean,
you know what we'll do? We'll do
hold it down for himself. I'm telling you,
we'll do this. I'll do. Help me set up an individual one on the morning show with him, and then what we'll do is we'll do like a special on Miami Sports Music Podcast Network, like a special roundtable, and we'll try to get you and maybe a few other former players on, and we'll just talk about the olden days, the golden years, and we'll have a good time with that. How about that? Does that sound good?
Sound like a plan.
All right, man. Bro, I appreciate you staying on even after all the technical difficulties. I apologize for them. And I love you, brother. I'm so glad that we're getting to know each other more. And I hope I have you on more during the season. We could talk about the Dolphins and everything on, man.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, brother. Be good, all right?
All right, have a good day. Thank you for having me on the show.
No problem. All right, guys. I want to make sure that you guys here, let me change this right here. See, look at the power of here, we'll do it like this. All right, hello, there we go. That's how you do it. Gotta love it. Guys, I appreciate you showing love today. If you guys like what you saw, please sign up to become a member of the channel, so that way I can figure out how to not have this happen again. Honestly, this is the first time that it's ever happened, so I apologize to you guys. I definitely wanted to do an amazing show, which I think it was. I think it was absolutely amazing. Richmond's such a great guy, very humble individual, and you fans are absolutely the greatest for asking him questions while everything was going on with my technical difficulties. So I love you guys. I really, really do. I appreciate your support. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have a great show. Make sure you check it out. Friday, we're going to have Xavier Scruggs, former Miami Marlins and current ESPN analyst, on to talk about some baseball and the Miami Marlins. Not just the Miami Marlins, just the state of baseball and how things are, and talk about sports, talk about a lot of different things. So I really appreciate it. Stephen, what did you say? Internet clap blocking. It is clap blocking, man, all day. George says, Stop apologizing. It was a great show, man. I appreciate it, brother. I really do. Check out Miami Sports Music. And subscribe, like, sign up for their content. #FinsUp. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for all the love. You guys are absolutely. NorCal says, great show, even with the snafu. Working for another 8 hours. If you can keep Richmond on, it's my stuff, Jason. I'm sorry, man. Smash that like button, homie. Richmond Webb Pancake D Lyman #FinsUp. I try to whistle, but I don't tweet. I love it. Chef says 3 more likes. Hey, can we get 3 more likes and 2 more donations before we get off? Help me out. Help me help you. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. We'll do that here. How many likes are we at, Chef Shu? Because I can't see. I can't change screens on the phone like this. Normally, I have multiple screens pulled up. And let's see here. There we go. All right. New comments. What an awesome show, bro. Pamela says we hit 50. NorCal says 49. Somebody's playing with me again. But I can't see it, so it's not that good. So let's get to 51. Make sure we stay at 50. Fins up. Guys, if you donate $5 or more to the show, you'll be entered to win the DWA swag, pick your swag prize giveaway. Like this video and subscribe. It's 50 all day, guys, all day. We're going to get to 100 likes on a regular. You guys are helping me grow, and we're going to have more amazing guests like Richmond Webb on. It's always a good time. D1 shows in top all day. Top of the morning. You meant top of the morning. Okay. Sounds good, brother. I appreciate it, man. We got to 50 likes. I appreciate that. Irving says, I gave you the big 5-0. Irving, my guy, Irving. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love. And we're going to, do the thing. Irving with the $1 donation. All right, one more donation. Let's go, guys. Biggest donation of the day was $20. I got anybody? Ain't nobody gonna beat $20 in one. Anybody gonna give $20.01? Who's gonna beat that this morning? Where's it at? Where's the $20 donation at? I'm trying to go through. I want to remember who it was and appreciate the love. I think it was Jason. So I can't see it, unfortunately. But great interview question, Stephen. Appreciate it, Pamela. Thank you so much. Big deal, guys. You guys did awesome today. Rob says, match me. Who's going to match Rob? Who's going to match Rob? Price is right, Marvin 239. I love it. Thank you to everyone who subscribed and hopefully become a member. Share this channel. We can help it grow more. That's right. Chef Shu is on the money with that. Cannot do it without your help. Cannot do it without your help. 100%. I'm on the phone. That's how like this is how I'm doing it, man. I'm always on for you guys. Always on. Right? I just want you guys to know I love you and that I'm always going to be here. And even when my computer stuff messes up, I'm going to make sure I have a way to stay on and make sure I give you the best content in the world. Because that's what we do here, man, at Miami Sports Music. We try to take care of you guys, the fans. So I appreciate it. Again, all the love that you guys showed was absolutely amazing. And tomorrow we're going to be great. As Rob said, match me. Who's going to match him? Remember, he got the PayPal and got the Cash App too, guys. Great interview, collaborative effort, Stephen and Finlaws. That's right, man. Also, those who came from Facebook, like on YouTube. Yes, 100%. If you are on Facebook, like on YouTube, as my man says. That helps out tremendously. Tremendously. Talking to a mic that's not even really working. It's my phone. Let's see here. Good morning, Dwayne. You're late. See, Estefan's got to write you up, Dwayne. Got to write you up. Guys, if you don't know, starting on the 16th Wednesday of next week, I'm going to be on vacation. But this show, it ain't going nowhere. I made a lot of phone calls, and my man TD Finstock is going to host the morning show Clock Blockers while I'm on vacation for a week and a half, starting on the 16th through the following, all through that following week. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then all that following week, TD Finstock will be hosting Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan morning show. I want this thing to be running even when I'm not here, and I want to know that you're in good hands. And so I am super excited that TD is going to be doing that. So that'll be a good time, TD, with y'all in the mornings. It'll be super fun, super good times. Make sure you all check him out from the 16th. Super V, you have a great channel on Webb as a class act. By the way, what happened to the Onside show? So the Onside show for the fans is going to be coming over to our network on the Miami Sports Music platform. It'll be coming back to the Miami Sports Music YouTube channel on July 21st officially. We'll be back. The only reason it's not coming back sooner is I'm going on vacation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record a lot of episodes, get them built up, and then we'll go ahead and release them one by one. We're going to do a new rollout for that. So right now, the love, I want to say my love and heart is with Big O, Alex Dono, Kai, Toast, all those people on Onside Radio. They had some unfortunate stuff happen. But, Big O is trying to make some things happen behind closed doors and see if he can get back up and going. So we'll see what happens with that. But we're going to take back over the show on our network for a little while. So the For the Fans will be back on Monday, July 21st. If you guys could check out the old shows that we have on our on our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, you scroll down, you'll see all the old shows. You'll see the one that I did with Richmond Webb. And we went into detail about him growing up in Dallas, him growing up as a Cowboys fan, him growing up going to Arkansas State, and then obviously being drafted by the Miami Dolphins and what that time was like. I know we briefly touched on it this morning, but I went into great detail on that stuff. So make sure you guys go check that out. It is definitely good times. Isn't this show like a VACO? I'd like to say it is, but my wife would probably say otherwise, Pamela. So yeah, so they got that going on. Estefan, can TD wake up? I love it. TD's gonna have a doubleheader coming up. Love it. Morning. Good morning. You are correct. Working on an effort late into the 4 hour. Got it. 54 likes. Can we get to 60? And 2 more donations before I get off. Stephen can't hear. Remember that mic don't work. Okay, I got you. I'm also covering up the mic on my phone too. There we go. 55 likes. 2 is going to light up the league and Colin Coward. Hashtag Pod Squad. I like that Pod Squad. I got some by the way, you guys are gonna I do have a big announcement coming up with a new person for the podcast network. Just like we have a relationship with TV Friends Talk and Douglas Duron, I got another big person that we're gonna bring on that's from the family. Look, great job today. The $5 is for you and the 78 cents is for Richmond Webb. George, I appreciate the love. Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate it. Again, any monetary amount you guys donate is a big deal. So I really appreciate what you guys are doing. All right, let me let you guys go. I got stuff to do, people to see. I got to go see a man about a horse. Okay. I love you guys so much. You guys are absolutely amazing. I could not do this without you. And remember to check out the show tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. And if you guys want to donate off the time, remember you guys can do it like this. All right. Look at the top. You'll see the PayPal and the Cash App there. You guys can do it up there. But I want to give a big shout out to George for the $5.78 donation. I like that. $5 for me, 78 cents because of his jersey number. Big deal, man. Thank you. I appreciate the love, you guys. It will be good. All right, guys. Love you guys. Peace out. Y'all have a good one. Fins up.